Hey everybody, Liz here, and today I'm excited to present to you for the first time Combat, our most awaited feature for the game and our main feature. Keep in mind, this is alpha gameplay, and anything you see here might change before the final release. In Devikins Phase 2, the Void Portal is finally fixed and operational once again, and players will use the Void Portal to be transported to our Combat Hub. In the Combat Hub, you'll be able to choose between all of the available combat game modes, and, as mentioned in our Combat White Paper, Phase 2 will release initially with 2 modes. The first, Story Mode, is a single-player mode where players will face monsters from the void and unravel the Devikins story and lore. The second, PvP mode, is player versus player, and in it you can face off against another player's team for fame and fortune. In Story Mode, the story will progress via regions, and you need to beat one region in order to progress to the next. The Training Grounds is Devikins' first region, and it's where players will start their journey. Entering a region, players will first see its stages. You'll have to beat a stage with any grade in order to progress to the next stage, and so on until you reach the boss stage. After beating the boss stage, the next region is unlocked. If you manage to get maximum grade in all of the stages in a region, you'll unlock that region's Nightmare mode. Additionally, by selecting a stage, players will be able to inspect details about it such as the monster's level range, wave counts, and possible rewards. There are 2 options here. One is to fight, the most common option, and something we call Instant. Instant lets players skip the battle to receive the stage's rewards, but Instant only unlocks after a player has attained full grade in that stage. Speaking of, let's jump into our first stage. And here we get our first peek at monsters, facing off against a Cursed Luggage and a Kelvin. Kelvins are some of the most despicable creatures in the Void, so don't let their eyes deceive you. This here is the PvE combat screen, with the player teams situated on the right and enemies on the left. In the top left, you can see the wave counter, and in the top right, you'll find the menu button. On the bottom of the screen, we can check the turn sequence, the active character portrait, and, in case it's an ally that's active, we'll also be able to see the skills that character has equipped. This toggle here shows or hides the combat log, so you can check via text log what's happening in the fight. Also, tapping on any fighter will open their combatant information pop-up. Here, you can see their base attributes, weapon profile, skills, their equipment, resistances, and lastly, status effects. You'll also see health bars on top of each combatant. The shield icon close to it is called Protection, which is a type of unhealable bonus HP. But what's important is killing some monsters, so let's get down to it. Not Sergio is our active combatant. These are their skills. And this icon is our pet skill, currently with a cooldown of 5 turns. Finally, the small button over here allows you to skip your turn. When you're unsure of what a skill does, just tap it and hold down. A tooltip will appear showing the skill's name, description, and its cooldown. The icon you can see on top of each skill is the cooldown trigger icon. Certain skills have different ways in which their cooldown is updated throughout the fight, most commonly on the start of a turn. Others can have their cooldown triggered by landing a critical hit, or via killing an enemy, to mention a few. But if a skill has no icon, it means it's a basic skill and it's always available to cast. Not Sergio's basic skill is called Screech, and it causes 100% scare damage with 100 accuracy. Devikins Combat implements a little spin on regular RPG combat with the introduction of the Scare Meter. This is the empty bar that you can see below the green health bar. What this means is that some skills will cause scare damage instead of regular damage, which depletes the target's health. So instead of affecting the health bar, they'll affect the scare meter, and when the scare meter is full, the target will of course become scared. Once scared, any attack to that target is guaranteed to be a critical strike. How about we use it? Nice! The scare meter's been filled more than halfway. Handsome, our next Devikin, just triggered Rage at the start of their turn. This is due to their Undies equipment ability that grants them 50% rage if their HP is full at the start of their turn. Let's check Handsome's basic skill. Venomous Strike. It deals 50% chill damage since Handsome is using the Frost Fangs, a chill dagger, and on top of that, it also applies 5 poison to the target for 1 turn. Now that we've selected Venomous Strike, we can see the available targets, but you'll also notice that their target icons have different coloring. A red target means that the target is resistant to your weapon element. A yellow target means that the weapon element does regular damage. A green target means that the target is weak to your weapon element. Let's target the Kelvin then, seeing as that's most effective. Now, it's Stroke's turn. And, check this out, this skill has a different trigger icon. This exclamation mark means that this skill's cooldown updates on a critical landing rather than at the start of the Devikins' turn. Let's use Stroke's basic skill. Awesome! Almost half of the enemy's HP is gone. It's time for Baby Doe's turn. Let's use Widespread Strike, an AoE attack. And we missed one. That's not good. Even more unlucky, it's the enemy's turn. It's looking like a close shave, seeing as these guys are pretty weak. So, let's finish them off. Excellent. Cursed Luggage is now scared, so that means that any attack it's targeted by is guaranteed to be a critical strike. And would you look at that? It's dead. Now, let's focus on the Kelvin. It's looking like we have more enemies to deal with since we're on the final wave. That means a different Kelvin and Cursed Luggage have shown up. Enemies have different tiers with different ancestries, skills, and attributes. This yellow Cursed Luggage is a stronger version of the brown one. Let's try and end this fast. And ouch! That one hurt. But, check this out. Our pet skill is available and we can show off what it does. We use it, and it works out perfectly. The entire enemy team is paralyzed. Just like that, one is gone, and now there's 2 to go. Would you look at that? Victory is ours. We got max grade on this stage and some drops. Let's hit continue. Now that we completed that stage, we've just unlocked the next. Let's take a quick peek and see what we'll find there. Okay, so there's 3 waves of enemies ranging from level 1 to 2 in the next stage. Let's leave that for another time and stop here. In our next video, we'll be covering PvP gameplay and show you how not to just kick a Kelvin's butt, but on other players. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this video and are just as excited for Phase 2 as we are. That means this is Liz, signing off until next time.